All right, today we're going to go into Amazon product research in terms of how to find keywords. So at this point, you have a product, or at least you have an idea of a product, but how do you validate that there's customer search demand and it's not overly competitive? And so what we want to do is get to a point of finding 10 to 15 primary keywords for your listing, and your entire listing copy, your launch strategy, and your PPC strategy to start will be based on these keywords. So these are crucial. And so how do we actually find these keywords? We take a look at the competitors, and then we see, based on what they're ranking for and converting for, we mix and match based on that. But we really want to understand what's converting for this niche before we use it in our listing, because based on the Amazon template of how you can design a listing, there's certain amount of times you want to put each keyword in your listing. At FBA, our strategy is that we put the top 5 keywords 3 times in exact form in your listing, and then all the other keywords twice. And so that's only with your top 10 to 15 keywords, right? So how do we actually find them? Let's go into Amazon and take a look. So let's use sunset lamp, and helium-10, as always, is crucial for this tool. So what we're gonna do is come here. We're on an Amazon search page. So there's, give or take, about 32 organic listings here. All of these are sponsored. To find the keywords, we're gonna run helium-10, we're gonna run x-ray, and then we're gonna let this load. And what we're gonna do is filter, sort by revenue. Let's make this a little bigger. And so what we want to do is find, okay, what are the sellers making good money per month. We basically always want to start the minimum revenue criteria at 10,000 per month. And then what we want to look for is, what are the new sellers making money on? Because there will be sellers with 2,000 reviews, 1,000 reviews. They have a little different experience selling than a brand new seller. So we want to look for, okay, what are sellers who we would share characteristics like being a new seller? We're trying to make a lot quickly without a lot of reviews. How are they converting? So what we want to do is come here and look at, okay, they're making 12,000 with only 200 reviews. Let's take a couple of these. So we'll go here. This one is making 25,000 with only 478 reviews. This one itself is making 22,000. You want to select somewhere between about 3 and 5 competitors, and then run the keyword search. And what this is going to do is you land on helium-10's Cerebro tool. This tool shows you every keyword that all of these listings are indexed for. So what that means is, you can be indexed for a keyword without being on page 1. And so at least one of the 3 of these listings are in the Amazon category of these keywords. And so what we want to do is take this to Excel and quickly get to a point of finding our 10 to 15 keywords. Let's move that. And keywords are everything, because I always say you cannot count on, if we go back to these numbers, you don't know how this 88,000 in revenue is being generated. So maybe it's on Amazon keywords, which you and I could share. Everyone shares customer searches on Amazon when you're selling, but it's possible that they're running external traffic. Say they have a big social media, say they're running TikTok ads, say they're running Google ads. We don't necessarily know we can share that traffic, so we want to see the keywords quickly and how it's actually working. So what I'm going to do is filter this top row, give this a color, and make it a little more bold. And what we do, we set the filters right here at number, and we go here 1,000, and then CPR. This is how many sales to get to page 1 over 8 days. So if we quickly divide these by 8, let's say 28 on the sunset lamp itself, 28 over 8, you only need to make 3.5 sales a day over 8 days to get to page 1 and share this organic traffic for your listing. So what we want to do, we know anything that is a CPR over 100 is very difficult to get to, right? You would have to make, just dividing that by its daily average, you would have to make over 12 sales a day to get to page 1. That's hard to do as a new seller. 3 to 4, even 5 to 6 per day. With our strategies, we can do that, but 12 a day is too difficult. So what we want to do is set the maximum at 100, and then we're going to come over here to a column called competitor rank average. And so I'm going to highlight the important columns while you're doing, let's make this a little darker. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so what this is pretty easy to understand once you just conceptualize the column. This, remember, we went and pulled 3, let's go back to here. We pulled 3 products and said these are all selling well. They're all new sellers. So how do we actually see their keywords? Now we're going to see their ranking, and this is 1 to several hundred, where they actually average and are ranking for on Amazon. And so because we know almost all sales on Amazon happen on page 1, we want to see what keywords these competitors are ranking for on page 1, because then we know if they're on page 1, they have to be making sales on this keyword. So we know that keyword converts for the product we're looking at. Typically there's a give or take 32 organic listings on page 1. Some page 1s have 36, 40, 28. But in general, what I do to be safe is say, let's go here and filter this. So we only want to see what they're ranking on. Because there's multiple, there could be a case of 2 of them being on page 1, one not ranking at all. So their average would be less than 32. So I'm going to set this at 50 to give them a little bit of space, and then say 0. 0 just means they're not ranking at all. Okay. And so now we're down, we still have a lot of keywords here. And what you want to do here is filter or sort by the highest search volume, and then start to look at, okay, what is actually a highly relevant keyword? So for a product like this, if we go, let's click on one of our examples. This is a sunset lamp, right? So this is, it basically is very specific, and you want to source specific products. But you need an idea of your keywords by the time you come into here. So lights for room decor, while it's highly searched, it's not specific enough. If we go and take a look at what this keyword actually looks like, yeah, so the test can be for relevancy of a keyword. If you're not sure, say this was a little more direct and you were thinking about adding it to your 10 to 15 primary keywords, you would just search this on Amazon, run helium-10, our best friend in all this, right? And then see what products are making sales. And if most of the products are very closely related to your product or your product itself, then it's a good keyword. But if it's like this and you don't see your product anywhere, well, then you can basically understand, okay, this isn't, our product is not converting for this keyword. So just because one of these is ranking well for this keyword doesn't mean we're going to put it in our listing. So what I would do is come here and I look for 10 and I go, sun lamp, sunlight lamp, sunset projection lamp. That's very direct. And what you can even do, you start to develop a pattern, right? So sun and sunset is very direct. So I would take all these sunset lamp projector, sunset lamp, sunrise lamp, sunset lamp, okay, sun lamp. What we're doing and why we want these to be relevant is because if we take a keyword like this and then target it in our listing, we're using digital real estate in terms of our copy. We're competing in the PPC market, so we're spending money on this keyword, and most people searching this aren't actually looking for a product. So we want to think, while we're doing keyword research, how many of the buyers searching this keyword would buy my product? If it's, you want keywords at as close to 100% as possible. Nothing's going to be 100%, but anything that you realistically are like, less than 50 or 60% of people searching this would want a sunset lamp, which absolutely, lights for room decor, there's so many options there. Then you throw that out. So, okay, let's keep going through here. Sunset lamp, okay. Anything with sunset lamp, adding to our keyword sunlight. Sunlight is a little vague, so let's search that again. And so if we exit out of here, sunlight. Yeah, so then as you can see here, then this keyword is relevant because everyone searching this, about 3,000 a month, these products are on page 1, which means they're converting and making sales. You can't be on page 1 without making sales for the keyword. So we'll add that. Okay, let's add that to our keywords. And then at this point, what you want to do is say, okay, I have some keywords. How many do I have? Right here we have 11. How many searches? 60,000. That's great. And so right now, we already preliminarily found our top 10 to 15 primary keywords. So we save these, and if we're moving forward with the product, this is going to be our bread and butter. And so, what you want to do as you start writing the listing, as you launch, sometimes these can change a little bit. So, this in 60 days when you're live may look a little different than it does now. So you want to come back, run the same process, and just see what's relevant at that time. But this is always the way, by just reverse engineering what a couple of your competitors do. You know exactly what's converting, and your strategy's easy. So that's it for keyword research today. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe on the channel, and we will see you again shortly.